right, what do a lap dance and a pizza delivery guy have in common? You can smell it, but you can't eat it. Wait, what? Oh, we're talking about lap joints. All right, so let's talk about how to cut lap joints with your miter saw. It seems like we've built a lot of benches lately. In fact, it seems like that's all I've been doing. But today, I want to try to build a bench using lap joints. I have a larger project coming up soon where I'm going to need to use lap joints. And while I'm familiar with lap joints, I don't really use that kind of joinery when I build things. I figured I would take you guys with me on the journey of experimentation with lap dances. Joints, lap joints. What is up, cupcakes? I am Nick, and this is Build Dad Build. I am not a master of lap joints by any means, so this video is more to show you guys tips and things to watch out for if you are going to be cutting lap joints, especially with your miter saw. But first, let me introduce you to the star of the show, to the miter saw. Knobs be knobbing. Now, the first issue I ran into had to do with this guy right here. This knob locks your bevel. So it locks it so your saw doesn't do this. But either just by me using it and it vibrating, it unlocked a little bit, or maybe it had something to do with when we moved. Maybe it got bumped around a little bit. But what I noticed, the blade was cutting at just a slight angle. You see how the gap gets bigger down here? That's what I'm talking about. Now that was an easy fix. Just make sure your bevel gauge is set to 0 right here, and then lock this down so it doesn't move. Tip number 2, there should always be a sacrifice. What I noticed was a lot of people would take their board they were gonna cut and they would put a sacrificial board on the back, because when you're cutting this, you need to come out and go back so you don't have that curve at the back from the blade. But what they would do is they would move their sacrificial board and the one they were cutting each time and chip out of both of them. Now what I did is I actually just glued my sacrificial board to the fence. That's the same trick that like people that use CNCs use a lot of times, where they put the blue painter's tape down and they put a little blue painter's tape on the back of the board, put some super glue on there, it holds it tight without clamping, and then when you're finished, you can just pull it off. Now, quick tip, if you do this, you'll notice that I have blue tape here and I have blue tape here. The reason I put this piece down here is because I noticed the glue started to run down and I didn't want it to get onto the actual bottom of the fence and stick to it. So just be careful if you're gonna do this to put it in both spots. My wife is only 5'4", and I've really gotta hand it to her because she can't reach it herself. She's too short. Tip number 3, don't be too short. Next thing I want you to be cautious of, or have in the back of your mind, is this sacrificial piece is too short. I'll show you why. When you're holding this board, you wanna be pushing it down and into the fence. And as I'm pushing down and backwards, and my hand comes further out over here, if I'm pushing backwards on this board like I should be, I can rotate this board out and those cuts can get wonky. I'm not wonky, you're wonky. So before I begin my actual cuts, we are gonna pop this off and we're gonna put a board on there that's the length of the fence, and that way I can stay out of the danger zone. Tip 4, in the immortal words of the great philosopher Eazy-E, nobody moves, nobody gets hurt. The other benefit of keeping your sacrificial board in the same place is I know where the blade is gonna go. So if I move just enough over to cover that up, that area right there, I know exactly how much I'm gonna take off. All right, guys, if you like the information so far, do me a favor and hit that like button. Subscribe if that's your thing. And if you're feeling extremely feisty, click that join button. Tip number 5 is an oldie, but a Next, make sure to make each end cut first. You want to cut just a little inside your pencil line, just so when you're taking all this out, you don't accidentally take too much out, because we can't put it back. So I'd rather bring the board over and it doesn't fit, and then be able to come over here and just, take what I need off, and then get a nice tight fit. Like a glove? Tip number 6.
Finish him!
This next thing has to do with the depth of your saw. You want to go a little shy of your final depth. So you see these little cuts right here? Don't mind this one, that's a Bill Daddy boo-boo right there. But there's a little bit of variance in the blade every time it goes over. So you want to give yourself enough room to sand this flat, so you don't have this kind of odd shaped, nibbled out line underneath your board. Tip number 7, stay out of the danger zone.
Danger zone.
And when the blade is going and you see me move this back and forth, only do that if you're very comfortable with your miter saw and your workpiece. If you don't know what you're doing, you could hurt yourself. So just be very careful when doing that to take out all the little nibblings in there. Nibbler. Wait, you're still here? You should be a YouTube member and help keep the lights on in the shop. Be greatly appreciated. All right, remember how I said that this board is too short? Let's fix that now. So that just pops off, and then you're just gonna take your blue tape, peel it off. Just gonna come here, and it doesn't have to be exact. It's just gotta be about the length of it. So over here. Next, we're just gonna run tape. Next, we're gonna tape off the fence. Again, don't forget to tape the bottom so you don't get any glue on your base plate. Next, I'm gonna bring this guy up here. We're going to put some super glue on here. Lay a little activator on the back just to speed this up a little bit. Push them into place. Let it sit for a second. Most miter saws should have an adjustment for this right here. Basically, this is your adjustment. If you turn it to the left, it is gonna cut more shallow, and if you turn it to the right, it's gonna cut more deep. Now we're gonna make our sacrificial cut. So make sure that the depth stop is engaged. So I'm gonna get my calipers out. Go ahead and measure this guy. In here, I'm gonna take a look. So yeah, we should be, if that's flat on there, we should be right about here.
Money shot.
All right, here is where we figure out if our depth is correct. This line right here is our depth that we want to saw down to. I'm gonna bring this down, and you wanna look at where the deepest part of the blade is, which is right about there. So right now, we come out here, we're cutting too deep. So we wanna give it a twist or two to the left, come down, check it again. Still a little too deep. I wanna be a little shy of that line. All right, we're gonna go with that depth for now, because that's what your mom said. Now, we're going to go with that depth because we're still gonna do a test cut and fit before we actually work on any of the material that's gonna be the final bench, like your mom said. Mark my line up here and down here. Okay, so I'm gonna make my first cut on this side. Notice how I left myself a little room there. I didn't cut right on the line. We're cutting out this area. All right, now we're just gonna nibble the cell out in between. All right, here we have our freshly nibbled spot. And whew, look at that. So I did cut it a little wide and we still got a little room. So we can actually go down a little bit. And that right there is why we're testing first. All right, and there we go. We're just a little bit proud up here, but we wanna make sure that we're gonna sand this flat anyway. So let's do that now. And that looks pretty dang good, aside from the fact that I cut it too big. So I think we're in business. Now, let's get to work. You didn't think I wasn't gonna light it on fire, did you? Well guys, in true build dad build fashion, it's not perfect, but it doesn't have to be perfect. It's a bench for the shop. And considering I use construction lumber from Home Depot, I think those joints are pretty spot on. Thanks for watching guys. If you enjoyed this build, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe if you want a little bit more woodworking with attitude. Daddy out.